Wine walked towards Mia's room and heard laughter. Her husband Jungkook and her daughter were awake early morning. Once she entered, she saw him making Mia's hair like he does every morning since she was born. It had been 16 years. Mia, Mom, look at that. He's not letting me go for the trip. Wyan, and why is that, honey? Jungkook, hey, that's not what I said. Are you cheating right now? Mia, Mom, Dad seriously said that. She stood up immediately, rushing towards Wyan and wrapped her arms around her. Wyan pat her head and glared at Jungkook. Wyan, why would you not let my Mia have fun? Jungkook, teaming up against me, your daughter and mother? I see. Mia giggled and sat in front of him again so he could finish styling her hair. Jungkook, I said you could go, but I'll send security along. Mia, that's not fair. I want to enjoy with my friends. They get hesitant around those scary guards. Jungkook, it's for your safety, princess. I'll tell them to protect you from afar. Your friends won't see them, and you can have all the fun. How's that? Mia, okay, that's good, but tell them not to show up. Jungkook, they won't, and you are done. He kissed her cheek and she stood up, grabbing her bag and waved at both of them and ran away. Ryan, Mia, come back. What about breakfast? Jungkook, I made her breakfast while you were sleeping. Ryan, but you know I would do it. You have office after this. Jungkook, you were tired last night. I can't handle that much. He wrapped his arms around her. Ryan smiled and caressed his cheek, and he kissed her temple. Then the two heard Mia scream. Jungkook ran outside and Ryan followed. She screamed when she saw Mia on the floor down the stairs with blood all around her head. Jungkook jumped down the stairs, skipping steps, and held his little princess in his arms, his heart in his throat and arms popping veins. Putting his hand over her injury, he rushed towards the car. Vine followed in, holding her, as he drove off. Once they reached the hospital, she was taken inside. Vine's whole body was shaking. She cried out of fear, and Jungkook, who was losing himself as well, held his wife tightly in his arms. Jungkook, she'll be fine. Look at me. I won't let anything happen to her. I got the best doctors. Why? Jungkook, why? She was too excited for the trip. I want my daughter back on her feet. She cried, and he pulled her in his embrace. He looked through the glass inside the room, seeing his precious daughter getting treated with all those horrifying tubes going in and out of her. He put his hand on the back of his wife's head to provide her warmth, yet his own heart shattered at the sight. Jungkook, she'll go for the trip. I'll make sure of it. Once a few hours passed by, the doctors came out and let them know that Mia was fine and she might wake up soon. Jungkook called Wyan's mother to stay beside her for the time being as he himself went home. Now he was sitting in the room looking at the CCTV footage of when it happened. Mia walked out of the room quietly and bumped into their maid. The maid was the one who pushed her down with such force, making the damage a little more than necessary. Jungkook knew something was wrong. He heard Mia scream when she fell, and his experience and common sense told him a normal person wouldn't have the time to scream before she is rolling down the stairs. His blood boiled and eyes turned red as he called the maid, and once she was in front of him, he lost his every sense of morality. It was his daughter, after all, who almost lost her life. His wife would never get out of this pain, and he would lose his family. Once the maid came in, he grabbed his gun and hit her head with the back of his gun. She yelped and fell on the floor while her head started to bleed. He placed the barrel of the gun against her temple and glared at her. Jungkook, how dare you hurt my daughter? How dare you? Her eyes widened up and fear reflected in them, but slowly the fear changed into something vicious as she grabbed the gun, holding it there. Maid, right. You really do love her, but I don't. She's not mine, and I wish she dies. Jungkook, the hell you said? Maid, why? Why couldn't you be mine? I've been with you for years, even before wine came in your life. Was it that hard to even spare me a glance? She stood up. Jungkook was too shocked to use his gun as she moved it away and stepped near him. She then grabbed his shirt and looked up at him. Maid, you know me, right? Tell me you care about me. I know you love your wife, but I won't ever tell her. I will serve you. I'll be yours. She didn't finish. She was pulled away from Jungkook. When she turned, she found Vine standing there. Vine slapped her hard enough for her to fall on her knees again. Vine, he is my husband, and Mia is my daughter. I own them, and don't you even dare think about them with your disgusting mind. She glared at her, then shifted her eyes to Jungkook, and they softened a bit. Vine, Mia woke up. She wants to meet you. I'll wait outside. She stepped out, and Jungkook shot the maid in the head without another word. His wife trusted him, and all he wanted was to run to his family in that moment. He stepped out, cleared of any sign of violence that happened in there. He took his wife in his embrace and kissed her head. Ryan, she's fine. She'll heal in a few days, completely, and we'll be back to normal again. Jungkook, won't you ask about what happened? Ryan, I'm happy because Mia woke up. I don't want to ruin it for someone else. I'm sure you took care of it. Jungkook kissed her temple and pulled back. Jungkook, then let's go and complete our family. He took her hand and the two left for hospital. They met Mia who got happy seeing her father and asked him to never leave her again, even for a moment.